Taekwon-Do, Toi Gye, take one. Okay, morning or afternoon now at this stage for everybody. So we're going to continue on this morning's class and go through the fundamental techniques of the pattern Toi Gye. So up to now we've been going through and performing some of the other patterns, going through, and any questions like that you have, please feel free, put them in comments on Facebook. At the end of every day, members, I'll try and go through and I'll put them up onto our YouTube channel, so we'll be able to go back and look at them at any stage. So very important, please give me content if you want me to go through any motions, questions, feel free to reach out and ask. I mean, I know we're in different times now at the moment, so keeping that social interaction between us as well is very, very important. Okay, so Toi Gye Tull. We will go through. So starting position of Toi Gye, Moa Jumbi Sugi B. So same as what we've done for Chungun, our previous pattern. So first move, and Palmo Kawunde Maki. Starting off going to our left, no difference, just making sure that we bend and we rotate around. So what's important sometimes in this one, as we get higher up the grade, our inner forearm, our arm palm goes down a little bit, get a little bit lazy, or maybe it just gets tired. So hand position should never change from the time that we've done our four directional block, Saju Maki, and Palmo Kawunde Maki should be exactly the same. So next move, movement number 2. So we're in L stance, Nyunja Sugi. We're going to transition. Hand is going to come back. Okay? I think when I learned this way back in the day, hand travelled miles away, as far away as it possibly could. So again, we don't need to do that. So it travels backward motion, comes up a little bit, and then we drive forward and we twist. I think I've covered upset fingertip twist quite a bit in other either sessions or in some of our classes. But making sure what's important is upset fingertip thrust is not here. This is not a low technique. Yeah, so the same height that we would have upset punch, upset fingertip thrust is just further away from the body, but pretty much the same height. So very important. Don't have it down. Like, who are we attacking that's down here that we would need to? Like, if they're here, to me, knee is an awful lot of an easier target or easier technique to use. So we don't need to do that one. So positioning the body, members, we don't need to turn the waist. Don't turn the waist too much. If anything, the waist stays as it was, half facing, hand position, and then pulling one against the other, driving forward. We want that little waist twist, that natural motion. And again, if mine looks big, members, I might be just exaggerating a bit just to show you, but it's just that last little twist. Two hands, reaction hand comes back and twists, thrusting hand thrusts forward. So our waist, our two hands twisting, our breath control, and our foot all landing at the same time. So from here, up, driving in. Next position, members, is performed in a slow motion. We pull the right hand back, left hand down, and it's like a posture. It's like something that's just, we're relaxing into it. Again, could it be used for a back fist and a low block? Absolutely. But in the pattern, it's just performed in a slow motion. We extend. Now, what's important with this one, don't have it too far out here. Obviously, don't bring it across your body because now you're tensing up the muscles. Keep it relaxed. Slight bend on the elbow, not dead straight, just a very, very slight bend. So it's like tense it straight and then just relax it. And then you'll find that that's the bend of the elbow. Back fist strike, roughly in line with your eyes, and twist. So twist your wrist ever so slightly so you're sticking out the Dunjamuk. Remember, Dunjamuk, these two knuckles here. So it's the same as Apjamuk. Apjamuk is to the here, and then Dunjamuk is the same two knuckles but just to the back. So if we're in this position and we keep it straight, you're going to end up using either your back hand or all of your knuckles. So if we slightly twist the wrist, you're then extending out the two knuckles that we need to do for Dunjamuk therapy. So if you're looking and you can see your fist is completely sideways, then it's wrong. You've got to just twist it ever so slightly. And again, if you have a mirror, it's so much easier because then I can see from here, I have everything. So right from there, I can see that all my back fist is going to work. If I twist it ever so slightly, I can now see that my Dunjamuk is protruding, it's sticking out. And we do the exact same moves, members, on the opposite side, so to my right hand side. So from there, middle block, again, I'm not going through all the different techniques. Upset fingertip thrust, slow motion, back. Again, remembering when we come back into our closed stance, please, feet together. Very, very important, closed stance. Next, we're going to step forward, left leg, walking stance, X-fist low block. Making sure X-fist low block is not a checking block, so don't block downward. It's not a checking block, it is X-fist low block. So to try and explain it in simple terms, imagine you've got two people here and you're trying to punch the two of them in the face. I don't know why you would do that, but just imagine it's that motion. Your arms are going across each other, not swinging down. Is a technique like this one later on in patterns, but this is not in Toi Gye. So we step forward, X-fist low block. Then we do our sine wave. So like what we did in Do-san back in the day when we were here, sine wave on the spot. We're going to do sine wave, and then we'll do twin vertical punch. So from our closed position, where were we? We're back here, X-fist, 1, 2, twin vertical. So again, we've covered twin vertical before. Hands pointing in towards you, relaxed, and then driving forward. Followed front smashing kick, holding the hands where they were, remember, there's no need to take them down. Again, if you want to take them down a little bit, that's fine, but don't lower them all the way down. So hand position, front smashing kick, bend, punch. Now remembering, very, very important, in Toi Gye, these are not fast motion punches. We've done it in Do-san, we've then done it in Yulgok. And then we come forward to Toi Gye and we kind of naturally think every time we do a front smashing kick and it's followed by a barrow and bandai chirugi that we do them in fast motion. In Toi Gye, that's not the case. So we perform our kick, we do a barrow chirugi, then we do bandai chirugi. Now the next move, we're going to pull our left leg, I'll just rotate, we're going to bring our left leg back and then slow motion, twin side elbow. So make sure it is twin side elbow. We are crossing the hands and driving it out. Would we ever do it in slow motion? Absolutely not. In the pattern, there's an awful lot of times, General Choi, when he was creating them, he does a lot of stuff for balance, for posture, for poise, position, and we go through the motion. It helps, and it also makes the pattern that little bit more difficult. So we go through certain things, and that's never always a bad thing. So up, and then we do twin side fist. So again, cross, and then down. If the heels come off the ground a little bit, members, that's acceptable. But do not raise them. Don't raise them too far. Don't be deliberately coming way into the air to come down. Just a little bit is fine, and then crossing down. Okay, I think we've covered this on the last session, which was kind of the preemptive to doing Toi Gye, and that's Sanmaki. So Sanmaki, again, we can go back over the old video if we wish, but remembering two key important things. One, do not bring the back leg around in a semicircle. This is not a stepping across motion. This is a stepping forward motion. So we go from there, lift the knee, stepping forward, twisting. And then let the hands travel along with the waist and it will finish. So think of a whip. Think of something that if you go, and the last little bit is the thing that creates the power and is the finish. That's what your hands are. So everything else is leading. Everything else is leading. At the last second, we then twist. Okay? Very, very important. So from our twin side elbow, we're here. We step forward the right leg and we twist. Then we step forward the left leg and we twist. Then we change direction. Then we go back with the left leg again in the opposite direction and twist. Same, right leg and twist. And then once again, left leg and twist. Following there again, we go one more left leg, up and twist around. So that's very, very important that we remember. 2, 3, back to 1. So keeping it in those lines. And that should take a lot of energy out of us, members, because those are strong techniques. Very, very strong, very powerful, because we're stamping motion as we go into the technique. And remember, I've mentioned this in the last video, when we stamp, commit to the technique. So to me, the difference between stamping and normal motion, when you do normal motion, we have balance and we have that position. We also have, there's a time within the move that I can stop and go, nope, not going to do it, and walk away. When you're doing stamping motion, to make it easy for me, it's committing to the technique. There is no area where you can stop and go, oh, I'll leave it. So if you're stamping into this, you've already committed to it, you've created your body weight past your center of gravity before you even know it. So you have to commit to the technique. We go on and we do some of our black belt patterns, same thing. We step from where are we? Here, and we twist. So don't come up to here where I can stop at any stage. 1, rotate. Put your body past the center of gravity, so you have to stamp into the technique. That will help you stamping rather than just going through emotion. And all you're doing is putting it down. If you can control your balance in a stamping technique, to me you're doing it wrong. You need to be able to go past your center of gravity and commit to the technique. Okay, so from our San Maki, we then lift our right leg, turning the body very slightly. So don't go and keep it straight. And then down into our outer forearm pressing block. Very important, turn the body. Get that waist twist. Every time we can, get waist twist. It's free, we might as well use it. It's going to help us generate a lot of power as we're doing it. So back, twist, down. In L stance. Now here, once again, very difficult technique to do. We're going to transition into head grab, but what we got to do is we got to go down first. Down, and then up, down. So because we're already in L stance, that back knee doesn't really want to go down much more, but it should go down a little bit as we rotate, as we turn the body full facing. The back knee has just ever so slightly down. So we have to remember, when we're talking about sine wave, and we say down, up, down, it's very easy to just use those words. But they're not always proportional. It's not exactly the same. So if we go down, and we only go down 1 centimetre, we might come up 6 centimetres, and then come back down 5 centimetres. So it's not the same down is equal to the same down on this side. So if you imagine in sine wave, we're already, I'm going to say 3/4 way down. Then we go down that little bit further, then we rotate up, and then we finish the technique on the way down. It's always good to finish on the way down. Don't finish at the bottom. You finish at the bottom, there's nothing left in the technique. You got to finish it while there's still more, and we're still driving down. So that's the difference in sine wave. So just makes that one there a little bit harder, making sure that we bend, twist, and then drive forward into head grab. Lots of debate, members, on where we grab. Is this a head grab? Is this a shoulder grab? I always say it's a head grab, because if I grab somebody's shoulders, their head is still free to either come forward, headbutt me. It's free to do anything. So grab the head. Great part about it is if you grab the head, your thumbs are in a great position to stick into their eyes if need be. You can grab their neck and stick your thumbs right in here. That'll do the same thing. Yeah, but for me, grab the head and your thumbs are covering their eyes if need be. So if they do try and do anything, just apply a little bit of pressure. It's one of the very few parts of the body that I don't think anybody's able to develop an exercise for creating a six-pack on your eyelid. Anybody that has kids will always know that they're fascinated with your eyes, and they will always try to stick their finger in your eye and it hurts. No matter if they're 2 days old, 6 years old, 20 years old. Anybody that sticks something into your eye, it hurts. So that's, from my understanding, always grab the head. So then as you come down, you're controlling the head. You control the head, members, you control the whole body. If you grab the shoulders and you pull them down this way, it's very hard if somebody's stronger than you to be able to pull them down from the shoulders. So we grab the head, we knee, we go toe to toe. So it's very important, we don't need to go foot to foot, because if we go foot to foot, it makes it very difficult to then rotate on the next one. And I wouldn't say make a T position. So what I always do is you go to knee and then you go toe to toe. So my back foot is now almost in the L stance position. My left leg in this case wants to come off the ground because that position of my 2 feet is not exactly comfortable. And then as we do, we perform Sunkal Devi Maki. So we'll rotate, we'll perform our knee, we rotate around, Sunkal Devi Maki. Now from there, we do side Taekwon-Do front smashing kick. So it's a side, middle level front smashing kick. So not like what we did in Chungun. In Chungun, that was low, remember? So from there, we didn't have to transition the body weight back. In this case, we can transition the weight back if we want it. Then the next part is, we got to get sine wave. So we kick, sine wave down. Now the body's going full facing because we're finishing up flat fingertip thrust. Like I explain all the time, when we're learning the technique, hand open, because then it differentiates and we know what we have to do next. As we get better at the technique, we perform, hands closed, last second, hand goes open. So the hard part of that is, after we've kicked, is getting down and transitioning the body into full facing to get ready for the flat fingertip thrust, up on Sunko Tulgi. Step forward, Sunko Devi Maki. Gone through this lots of times in videos. Same again, and then down, turn, and drive forward. Okay, so we just have that on both sides, which is always great. Some of the techniques we perform in a pattern, we always do it with either a right or a left. In this case, we're doing it on both sides. So very, very important that we get it on both sides. So we've gone from our flat fingertip thrust. Next one, we're going to lift our right leg, bring it behind, and perform a back fist strike with an outer forearm low block. So outer forearm low block, just change to walking stance. It is what it is. And the back fist. Now the back fist isn't straight behind us. So it'll be like side rear. So this is the rear, this is directly behind me, and this is to the side of it. Because if it's back here, we're then starting to tense up the shoulder muscles and all, which means we'll be reaching in towards the target. So keep it out to the side. Now, what's important is we look from a side angle, making sure that my elbow isn't further than my back fist. Because if it is, I'm going to end up making contact with my elbow first. So we want to tilt it back slightly. Yeah, and then from there, remember what we said earlier on at the start, also rotate the fist so you're sticking out the Dunjamuk, those two knuckles. It's not Sungdung, we're not using the backhand, we're using the back fist. Okay, so from there into this position, body half facing. The next one we're going to do, which is kind of important, and we've done a class before this one for jumping, and this will help. So we're going to go from there, we're going to lift the right leg, and we're going to then spring with the left leg. So like I explained in the last class, hand position, waist twist, knee all drive up. You want the body to go up. What we don't want the body to do is to go down. If you crouch forward and all of a sudden the body goes down, keep the body up straight as much as possible. And we're going to throw that right leg up into the air. And then down. So we finish in an X fist. When we're in X stance, members, note the heel of the back foot isn't really, really high off the ground. So it's only about 2 centimeters at most. So the same as if you're doing rear foot stance, it's only a little bit off the ground. I think when I learned this way back in the day, heel was way up here. So heel down, both knees bent. And X fist, low block. Then we go forward, Duan Palmok. Now we've covered Duan Palmok Napunde Maki in our Yulgok video. So very, very important. We practice that one over and over and over again. I'm going to rotate around so we can get this one. So from here, we're now going to rotate. Now, what's important is I didn't drop my hands. We've gone from the An Palmok, I'll rotate this way first. We've gone from the An Palmok straight to here. Straight into my starting position. Okay? There's no point in dropping the hands and then bringing them back up again. That just takes more energy that we don't need. Always transition and be ready for when possible. So from here, rotate. Sunkal Najunde Devi Maki. Knife hand, guarding, low block. So remember, what's important, the guarding part is below your belt. Shouldn't be up here. This is for middle, this is for low. So again, if you just bend or extend your arms roughly the same on both, it'll end out in the same position. Now we've also covered the Limya Maki, circular block, in plenty of videos. The difference of this one, members, and this is the one that kind of kills me a little bit when I see some of the students doing this. It's very, very important that you lift your leg. We're now transitioning from L stance to walking stance. So as we've done in numerous videos in the past, if this is my L stance and I'm going to transition to walking stance, my leg is to come back, forward and out. So it's wider and longer. It's not just longer. Because if it is longer, now my walking stance is no longer shoulder width, or else I'm doing a walking stance at an angle. So I go from here to here. My walking stance would be fine if I was pointing this way, but I'm not. I should be still pointing in the same direction. So from here, lift, backward, that little U shape, backward motion, forward, and then circular block. You'll see my walking stance is straight in the same direction that I was facing. My circular block, body slightly twisted. Now, this is the position I would be in performing the pattern. Next one, I'm going to step my left leg to my right leg, close stance. And as I've gone from here, get the hand position ready, down, up, down. So we've extended out into our knife hand low guarding block again. Same thing, lift up, open out the stance, so that little U shape comes back, goes forward, so it's longer and wider, and I'm now pointing straight towards the opposite wall. Now here's the hard bit, just coming close to the end. So we've done one with our left hand. The next thing we do is we pivot. All we're going to do is, so don't try and pivot to the opposite side. We go from walking stance to pivot to where we can. So we go 1, 2. Then we pivot back to where we started, 1, 2. So remember, with the Lingamaki, the back knee will bend. It's not this. You're not trying to pick up something off the ground. Little bit bend and then down. So where your target was, my low block won't reach. Yeah, so this part of my arm won't reach. My fist would, but my inner forearm wouldn't. So in order for that to work, I bend. So I go from where my hand was here. If I bend, now my forearm is where my waist used to be. So that's going to be able to help me block. So circle, 1, finish, 2. And then once we've done our 3, we then lift the right leg up, little bit of waist twist, sine wave, and then turning into sitting stance, punch. Watching the feet, trying to have that feet pointing in the outward direction, watching the feet pointing straight forward. And then at the end, we go right to left, parole, and then shove. Okay, so any questions, members? In Toi Gye, please go through the motion and practice it over and over and over again, especially if you know it. If you are any of our lower grades members, I'm not expecting anybody to learn the whole of Toi Gye, but understanding some of those moves are very, very important. So learning an actual pattern to perform it together is difficult, but each one of those individual techniques, we can start adding to the amount of techniques that we know. So even if you are a 9th cup, a 10th cup, an 8th cup, it doesn't make a difference. There's no difference from Sungkal Devi Maki to Sungkal Najunde Devi Maki. Well, say there's no difference. Of course there's a difference. One is middle, one is low. But the shape of the technique is down here. Starting position is the same. Will make no difference. And again, watch waist twist. My body is twisting as I'm performing the techniques. Don't need an awful lot of power. Up and down. Up and down. Okay, very, very important. So go through the motions. So it's not just for our 3rd cup members and above that know these patterns. These sessions are for everybody. That's why I'm trying to break it down into individual moves rather than just performing the entire pattern. So again, trying to explain the purpose of the techniques as well as how to perform the techniques. Because sometimes if you don't know what a technique is for, it makes it very difficult for our brain to understand why we're doing something. So we are very logical thinkers, so we have to have a purpose of what we're doing, otherwise it's like, that doesn't make any sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it becomes very hard for you to commit to doing it properly. And again, if you've got questions, members, and I don't know the answer, there's lots of my instructors and senior members out there that I can ask, and I like nothing more than educating and learning myself. So please, not saying it's a competition to catch me out, but if you do, absolutely delighted to help. So every day we're always learning, whether it's you, whether it's me, lower grades, anybody at all, it's always very, very important that we learn. Okay, so I'm not going to cram in too many patterns now, members, so as we're getting close to all the colour belt patterns gone, I'm going to just do one at a time because there's more complex moves in what we're doing. So we're kind of keeping it that way. I'm going to finish this video now in a moment, and then I'm going to start one more video before we finish. The next video, members, is going to be a challenge. So we've done our Bring Sally Up challenge, and I hope we're still working on it. I have to be honest, the push-up one is killing me. I'm not making it much further. I think I've got one more push-up, maybe 2 push-ups since I've actually started. I've got to the 2nd long hold, and then I can get 2 more push-ups, and then my arms just absolutely clap. So I'm going to keep working on it. At some stage, I would like to be able to complete the whole thing, but it is very, very difficult. The other challenge that we posted up, which was the hands-only plank for 10 seconds. Again, that's very difficult to do. It requires an awful lot of core strength and balance to be able to coordinate all of your body. Just go do a plank. Do it for 30 seconds. Do it for 60 seconds. Just set yourself a challenge, a target, something to do, because it's very, very important. So the next one we're going to do, members, is Roxanne. Now remember, this was introduced to us by Mr. Nathan Fox many, many years ago. And I can't remember the exact techniques that we used to do. I think it was we did burpees every time they said Roxanne. So I'm going to make it that little bit easier at the start, and I'll go through it. So I'm going to stop this video, members, and then I'm going to start off with the next one, which will be our Roxanne challenge. Okay, cheerio. Come here. Take one. Thank you, members. So stay warm, get some water. This next challenge might take a little bit out of you.